हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। हम एकदम बेसिक से शुरू करेंगे फिजिक्स के। तो जैसे कि आपकी साइंस पे फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री बायो के अलग अलग चैप्टर्स होंगे, ठीक है। तो आपकी क्लास पे मोशन एक चैप्टर शुरू होता है। तो उस मोशन को समझने के लिए क्या क्या बेसिक की जरूरत है उसको आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे, ठीक है। तो उससे पहले मैं थोड़ा साइंस से शुरू करता हूँ। एंड यू नो व्हाट इज साइंस? Science has derived from the Greek word scientia, right? It has derived from the Greek word scientia, you know. Scientia means what? To know. Scientia means to know. Okay? Scientia means to know. Student, previously, very early days, people are living in the forest, right? They are not having some basic food, shelter and clothes, all, but they are not having all those things. So suddenly the civilization changed. So nowadays you are seeing the modern civilization, right? So that is only possible because of science. And science is having many branches, okay? So once people started, the people were living in the forest, right? Once they are able to fulfill their basic needs, then they started asking the question why everything is happening around us. Like day, night, sun is coming in one direction, in a particular direction, the wind is blowing, the season is changing. There are many reasons. He tried to find the reason, right? And that to know the reason behind everything that is happening in the nature, just he started with science. And science is very vast. So to, if we will see, then science is having some branches, right? That is physics, chemistry, bio, and many more branches. So we'll be strictly discussing today about physics, okay? Physics has derived from the Greek word physics, a very basic class, so that you will get a basic idea about the what is the overview of physics, right? Physics has derived from the Greek word physics. Physics means study of nature. Keep on writing. Physics is study of nature. Study of nature के बारे में पढ़ने के मतलब क्या होता है? What does it mean to study of nature? That means you will not sit and enjoy the nature. No, it's not like that. To see different natural phenomena and to find the reason behind that, right? So that is study of nature and natural phenomena. Study of nature and natural phenomena, right? So there are many definitions of physics. So one of the definition, the branch of science, we can write the branch of science. The branch of science that deals with the branch of science that deals with study of nature, that deals with study of nature and natural phenomenon. Study of nature and natural phenomenon, right? Many things, many chapters in your physics you will be seeing form with magnets, electrical energy, light energy, all are nothing but a form of energy. And in your chemistry, you know what is matter, something that occupies space and have some matter, mass is known as matter. And in physics also we'll be not studying about the behavior, but the energy associated with. So another definition of physics you can write, the branch of science which deals with study of, which deals with which deals with, we can write, which deals with study of matter and energy associated with it. Study of matter and energy associated with it. Study of matter and energy associated with it. Understood that part? What is science? And in the science, physics is a branch, and this is the definition of physics. Just try to know the energy associated with it. You are having many chapters in physics, but in your classes you will be dealing with the chapter that is, you know, about light energy, you know about electricity, that is a form of energy, you know about magnetic energy. There are many chapters, those, you know, magnetic energy, right? Magnetism ke chapters. So heat is a form of energy. These all chapters you are going to learn in your respective classes, right? But the thing is that before going to start to that, you should have some pre-idea about physics, so that any chapter you will be picking up, you will be able to understand. Okay? So before going to start physics, you should have an idea about physical quantity. You should have an idea about physical quantity. For what is the meaning of physical quantity, right? So let I'm saying I'm feeling hungry. Can you measure that? I'm unhappy. I'm happy today. Can you measure that? You can measure that, right? Yes or no? So if physical quantity, when it comes to mind for science, and science without measurement has no value, right? So if I'm saying about physical quantity, the definition will be the quantity which can be measured, right? Physical quantity means the quantity which can be measured. Physical quantity means the quantity which can be measured. The first criteria, the quantity which can be measured. So there are many physical quantity. In every chapter you will be dealing with speed, distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration. All those are that you have learned in your motion chapter, right? Those are all physical quantities. But if we'll say, then physical quantities are again divided into two parts. One is fundamental physical quantity and another one is derived physical quantity. You should know all those things. There are some things that you should keep in mind before going to start physics, right? Physical quantities are divided into two parts. That is fundamental physical quantity, right? And there are some derived physical quantity, that is something fundamental physical quantity, and there are something derived physical quantity. What does it mean? Fundamental physical quantity means they are independent, they don't depend upon any other quantities. And derived physical quantity means by using those fundamental physical quantity you are going to derive the new quantities. For example, you are saying speed is equal to distance by time, right? So distance is a quantity, time is a quantity. You divided two quantity, then you derive the new quantity, that is speed, right? So there are 7 fundamental physical quantity. Let's know one of them, all of them. Mass is a fundamental physical quantity. Number 2, length is a fundamental physical quantity. Number 3, time is a fundamental physical quantity. Number 4, temperature is a fundamental physical quantity. Mass, length, time, temperature is a fundamental physical quantity. Then mass, length, time, temperature. Then electric current. Then number 6, amount of substance. In chemistry you will know about this, amount of substance, right? And number 6, luminous intensity, right? These are the 7 fundamental physical quantity. Those are independent quantities, they don't depend on any other quantities. And out of these 7, these 3 are very important. All are important, but for now in your class, in your level, foundation level, you are going to deal with this mass, length and time, also with temperature and electric current somehow in some chapters, right? So being based on this fundamental physical quantity, this mass, length and time, these are very important quantities. Derived quantities, like you can say your speed, right? Your force, your pressure, your work, many quantity. In each chapter of physics you will be dealing with new quantities. Those are nothing but those are the fundamental derived physical quantities, right? These are the derived physical quantities. ठीक है, ये fundamental physical quantity, ये हो गया derived physical quantity. तो अभी out of these 7 fundamental quantities, these 3 are very important: mass, length and time. Mass, length and time. Students, you are going to a shopkeeper, you are asking for some potato, you are saying me, shopkeeper, give me 5 kg of potato. That means you are asking some mass, you are asking some potato mass, that is of 5 kg, correct? That is of how much? 5 kg. So mass is a physical quantity. Mass is what? This is a physical quantity, it's a fundamental physical quantity, right? You can write mass is a fundamental physical quantity. But what is 5? 5 is a numerical value. 5 is a numerical value. And what is kg? Kg is a unit. That means to represent one physical quantity, you need one thing, that is P, physical quantity. You need another one, numerical value, along with one unit, right? You need these two. P is equal to N into U. Understood? So you need these two, that is P is equal to N into U, correct? That is physical quantity is equal to numerical value into a unit. So now you should have an idea about system of units. Yes, by remembering all those things, we'll go to next system, because about new physical quantity, we'll be dealing with different chapters, and about 5 numerical values you know from your early childhood, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity you know. But you should have an idea about this system of units, right? Let's start with next system of units. To represent a physical quantity, you should have an idea about system of units. And being based on the fundamental physical quantities, right? You are having three most important physical quantities like mass, like length, and like time. These are the three most fundamental physical quantity. Being based on this, we have made these units like CGS. We have made units like MKS that you are saying is SI unit, and also the system of unit is FPS, right? If I'll say about CGS, in CGS, C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, A stands for second, correct? And in MKS, M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram, S stands for second. And for FPS, F stands for feet, height unit, P stands for pound, mass unit, British system of unit, and S stands for second, right? Yes or no? So if I'll take here system of units, right? C, G, S, correct? Yes or no? I'll also take here system so you can remember this. Centimeter is the unit of what? It is the unit of length. Gram is the unit of what? Mass. Second is the unit of time. Here meter is the unit of length. Kg is the unit of mass. Second is the unit of time. Feet is also the unit of length. Pound is the unit of mass. Second is the unit of time, right? So this is L is for length, correct? M is for mass and T is for time. So now if I'll be asking about CGS system of unit, MKS system of unit, FPS system of unit, you can say. So this British system we are not going to use that much. Sometimes it may be useful, but the CGS and MKS units we are going to use throughout the career of physics, right? So here, if you know already about speed, speed is equal to how much? Distance by time. You know, speed is equal to distance by time. I asked you what is the CGS unit of distance? You'll be saying, sir, it's a length, so centimeter. What is the CGS unit of time? Sir, it's second, correct? I'll ask you this is the CGS unit. If I'll be asking about MKS unit, then sir, it is meter, and this is a second. So this is the MKS unit, sir. Understood? Like this speed. Correct. So this is the system of units. You should remember what is CGS, what is MKS, what is FPS, and what are the three fundamental physical quantity on which it is based on, right? And if I'll be saying about the conversations, right, you know 1 kg is equal to how much? 10 to the power 3 gram, right? 1 meter is equal to how much? 10 to the power 2 centimeter, correct? 1 hour is equal to 3600 second. These are the basic things you should keep in mind and you know from your early childhood classes. Okay? Just note it down. So students, keeping this much idea in your mind about physics, what is fundamental physical quantity, what is system of unit, then you can start with the most important chapter of physics, that is mechanics. That is what? Mechanics. Give a name, mechanics, right? We're going to start with the chapter mechanics. Mechanics means it's a very important chapter in physics. It's you are studying a very small part of that. Mechanics means study of motion. Mechanics means study of motion, right? Mechanics means study of motion. And mechanics is having two parts. Mechanics is having how many parts? Two parts. So you can see mechanics, there we're having two parts in mechanics, right? Study of motion we say is mechanics. It's having one part that is known as kinematics. We known as kinematics. That you're saying is motion. In your higher classes, you will be knowing these things. And this is dynamics, right? Dynamics. Kinematics means study of parameters associated with motion, right? Kinematic means study of parameters, study of parameters associated with motion, right? Study of parameters associated with motion, right? And dynamics, the most important thing is that only parameters without knowing the cause, without knowing the cause, right? Right here, without knowing the cause. That is known as what? Kinematics, correct? Then we'll go for dynamics. Dynamics means what? What is meant by dynamics? Cause of motion. Cause of motion. What makes a body to move, right? Cause of motion. Dynamics means cause of motion. What makes a body to move? Correct. What makes a body to move, right? And that is all about forces. Forces and laws of motion. Newton's laws, you know from your, you heard about forces and laws of motion. Okay. So now let's know what you should study in the foundation level about the different kinematics, the parameters associated with motion. I mean, when a body moves, what are the things that used to change, right? So let's see that one. What changes? Number one is we'll be studying about distance. We'll be studying about displacement. We'll be studying about speed. We'll be studying about velocity. You'll be studying about acceleration, correct? You'll be studying about different graphs, how every equation is, how the motion is governed by many equations, equations of motion, and in about also you'll be studying about number 7. We'll be studying about what is the graph of different types of motion. So in brief, I'm saying about in a foundation level, a student should have a very much particular about distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration, equation of motion, and graph. And we'll be studying about in the later part of the chapters, we'll be studying about laws of motion. And before we're going to start all those things, one should have an idea. Physical quantity we have divided into fundamental physical quantity and derived physical quantity. Like that also you can also write the physical quantity into two parts, right? Just remember this one. A physical quantity can also be divided into two parts. Like number one is scalar and vector, right? Number one is scalar and vector, right here. You can write a physical quantity, you can write also as scalar and vector. One is scalar, S-C-A-L-E-R, another one is vector, right? One is scalar, one is vector. A physical quantity which has, right, a physical quantity, keep on writing, a physical quantity which have only magnitude, no direction. Physical quantity which have only magnitude but no direction. Only magnitude but no direction. A physical quantity which have only magnitude but no direction is known as scalar, right? And what are the examples of scalar? Just like for examples, distance is scalar, it has no direction. Speed is scalar, work is scalar. These are the examples, etc. Work, right? These are the examples. Distance, speed, work. These are the examples of scalar. And vector means which has both magnitude and direction. You can write which have both magnitude and direction, which have both magnitude and direction, which have both magnitude, right here, which have both magnitude and direction. The physical quantity which is having both magnitude and direction is known as what? Vector. जैसे कि example आप ले सकते हो displacement. Displacement means the distance covered in a particular direction. Then velocity, rate of change of displacement is velocity. Then force is also a vector, etc. These are the examples of vector. So for a student who is preparing for the next level of NEET and JEE or any other competitive exams in the foundation level, he should have the basic idea about what is physical quantity, what is the system of units, what is mechanics, what are the parts that we are going to cover, what is scalar, what is vector, right? These are the things you should keep in mind in a foundation level of courses, right? All clear? So next start with the first parameter of kinematics, that is distance and displacement, right? Just take some examples and we'll understand what is distance, then we'll also understand what is displacement, right? What is distance and what is displacement, you know? So it's also, distance is the path covered by a body, right? It's a path covered. It is a path covered by body. But what is displacement? Shortest path covered by a body. Shortest path covered by a body, right? What is displacement? That is shortest path covered by a body, or let the body started from A position and it has to reach at B. It moved in any arbitrary direction and reached in this path. So the direction is always changing. So this is the path covered. That is known as distance. But shortest path will be only the straight line joining from the starting point and ending point. This is the straight line. only the straight line, only the straight line will be the, only the straight line is going to be the shortest path. That means yeah, you can also write here straight line. You can also write here straight line joining initial and final, where it has started the journey, that is initial point, that is initial point, and final point, initial and final point, right? That is initial point and final point. Understood all? There is initial point and final point, correct? Getting or not? So this is the path covered. There is no particular direction, so it's a scalar quantity. You can write it's a scalar quantity, right? It's a scalar quantity, and there is a particular direction, so it's a vector quantity. You can write here it's a vector quantity. So it's a distance, it's a length. CGS unit will be centimeter and MKS unit will be meter. It's also a distance. CGS unit will be centimeter and MKS unit will be meter. So this is the basic definition of distance and displacement. Let's go to know the example. Let's do some cases of example, that is distance and displacement, right? Right. Let's take some examples. You know about right angle triangle, right? I'm saying this is right angle triangle. If this is theta, this is one you know is perpendicular, this is base, this is hypotenuse, and you also know hypotenuse is equal to p square plus b square root over, right? And you know about various examples, like if you take this one as 3, you will take this one as 4, and this is going to be 3 square plus 4 square root over, right? That is 9 plus 16, that is 25. Root over of 25 is 5 units, right? This is all about right angle triangle. You know about this. Understood? You all know about this. Right angle triangles and Pythagoras theorem, you know, right? Let's apply this one in our physics, right? Correct? This is you know, this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west, right? Yes or no? If I'll be giving an example, a person started from origin and it moved 3 kilometers towards east and 4 kilometers towards north. This is O, this is A, this is B. A person started from the origin, he moved 3 kilometers towards east, then from east he moved 4 kilometers towards north, right? So can you say what is the distance? What is the distance covered? So distance covered means path covered. That is OA plus AB. That is equal to 3 plus 4, you know, 7 kilometers, correct? Yes or no? But I asked you what is displacement. I asked you what is displacement. Displacement means shortest path. Shortest path means the straight line you have to join from OB. That is O to B. This is right angle triangle. So you'll strike 3 square plus 4 square root over. That is equal to 5 kilometers. Understood? What is the displacement? That is 5 kilometers. Understood all? Just note it, right? So similarly, you can take the form of a rectangle. Let this is a rectangle. This is 3 kilometers. This is 4 kilometers. This is 4 kilometers, and this is 3 kilometers, right? Let's say name this one is A, B, C, and D. Correct? I asked you a person the path covered. He moved from A to B, like that he's moving from A to B, then moving from B to C, then moving from C to D, then moving from D to A. This is the path he's moving. A to B is moving from A to B. Then he's moving from A to B to C. Then he's moving from A to B to C to D. Then he's moving from A to B to C to D, A to B, B to C, C to D, then D to A, then D to A. Like that he is covering a path. So in each case, in this case, in this case, in this case, and in this case, in every case, I just told you to find the distance and the displacement. I just told you to find the distance and the displacement, correct? In this whole scenario, I just told you to find the distance and the displacement. Just see this one. A to B, distance is 3 kilometers. Distance displacement is also 3 kilometers. So write 3 kilometers, 3 kilometers, correct? And here from A to C, 3 plus 4, how much? Distance is 3 plus 4, 7 kilometers. 3 plus 4, 7 kilometer. But displacement you have to take as AC, that is the displacement. So this is displacement is AC, that is nothing but 5 kilometer. Understood? Okay. Understood or not? Then from A to B, B to C, C to D. So the distance is 3 plus 4 plus 3. 3 plus 4, 7 plus 3, 10 kilometers. So this is how much? 10 kilometer, right? And how much is the displacement? As the displacement is from A to D, the shortest path that is covered A to D, that is equal to how much? 4 kilometer. Is that clear? Understood? Again, I'm saying A to B to C to D to A. It's a total moved 3 plus 4, 7 plus 3, 10 plus 4, 14 kilometer. Total distance covered is 40 kilometer, 14 kilometer. But it started from A, and again after completing the whole boundary, it again reached at A. So no displacement. It was at its initial point, it started, then it reached the final point at this point. So initial point, final point is same. No displacement. So displacement is going to be 0. So you should, I think it is understood. Just ask me which part you are not able to understand. Okay. So let's take another example on distance and displacement. So we'll get a better clarification on that. Okay. Let a body is moving in a circular path. A body is moving in a circular path. A body is moving in a circular path, which is having equally distributed 4 equal parts. This is the center, right? You can write it at C. Radius is R. This radius is R. This radius is R. This radius is R. The person started moving from A, B. On this path he is moving, right? C. Then again he came to D. Again he came to A, right? So I will be saying the person is moving from A to B. Person is moving from A to B to C, correct? Then person is moving from A to B. Person is moving from A to B to C to D. Again the person is moving from A to B to C to D, and again reaches at A, right? So this is the path in which the person moves, right? And in every case from A to B, from A to B, C, then A, B, C, D, every case we have to find what is the distance and what is the displacement, right? In every case, let's find about the distance covered. Let's find the distance, and also let's find the displacement. Understand properly, correct? Then you can understand what is the distance and what is the displacement. Let's understand that one, right? Students, see, it is going from A to B, right? If it is moving the complete circle, then the distance covered is 2 pi r, right? If it is moving half circle, then it is pi r. If it is moving half of the half circle, then the distance will be pi r by 2. So you can write here the distance is pi r by 2. Is that clear? But what is the displacement? This is equally 4 parts में divide हुआ है. So that is the straight line. Join the straight line. So it's like a right angle triangle. Yes or no? This is r and this is r. This is 90 degree. So this is how much? R square plus r square root over, right? That is 2r square. That is root over is root 2r. Yes or no? So the displacement, यहाँ से यहाँ तक जो displacement है ये 90 degree है. So the displacement is root 2 into r. Correct? I think understood. Then A to B to C. Distance covered is half circle. तो आराम से आप लिख सकते हो pi r. और displacement is from A. So here this is nothing but AB length, right? A to B. That is the hypotenuse. And here from A to C, this is straight line. That is r plus r 2r. So the displacement is 2r. That is AC. Correct? Again you come to the third part, A to B, B to C, C to D, right? So this is pi r and this is pi r by 2. So pi r plus pi r by 2. यहाँ से यहाँ तक कितना है? Pi r है. यहाँ से यहाँ तक pi r. फिर उसने आधा का आधा मूव किया. Pi r plus pi r by 2. So that is how much? 3 pi r by 2. So you can write here distance is 3 pi r by 2. That is 1.5 r, right? And what is the displacement? Chalo, A connect A to D. This is also another right angle triangle. That is A to D. And A to D is how much? That is root 2r. That is root 2r. That is AD. Root 2r. That is AD. Correct? AD is the hypotenuse. Then for complete circle A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. Then पूरा इसने चक्कर लगाया तो पूरा perimeter ले लेंगे 2 pi r. But it has started from A and reached at A. No displacement. So displacement will be how much? 0. Understood? This is another example. Just keep in mind these 2 examples. Then with continuation, we'll be seeing the next stages of the lectures. Okay? Just ask me which part you are having doubt.